Hello, hello, hello. I'm Lynn Browder, and I have a son, Owen, who is 11, and he has autism. I am trying to see what I can come up with. I paint with my son, Owen. He helps me paint the backgrounds. And when I used this paint with him, it was very runny to begin with. And then we kind of I let him sometimes tell me like what he wants to do, or if there's like sometimes he'll paint his own paintings, and we still do a hand over hand method, but we go from there. And so I let him do a little bit more of this one with the background, and I like the stripes, and I like the thoughts, and I like the things. So we're going with the flow here. And I had in mind I was going to do kind of I do some crosses and hearts and different things. And so I thought I was going to do a cross with some flowers. So we shall see, as I say, what happens. And this is kind of like a fan brush. And if you've watched me before, you have heard me say countless times, I generally paint with one brush the whole time, unless I'm doing something specific. Well, I guess this is kind of something specific. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet, but this is something specific, I suppose. I think I kind of like the way, like, sometimes when I was going to put the cross over here and have the stuff that I wanted on this side, but I'm thinking I'm going to do the cross over here and then have the light. This is supposed to be like the kind of the light shining. But we'll see. If you've also watched my painting before, you know that a lot of times it changes as we go along. So there's no promises, but it is going to be a painting. That's what we go with. We just go from there. Sometimes I get trapped in my own thought process, like it has to be something specific. And even though none of my paintings are specific, and I change my mind, I can't talk and paint at the same time. You can't see my hands, they're doing all kinds of things back here. But I change my mind as we go along, and you'll see that in my paintings, because I'll start painting something, and then I just change my mind. It's still, in the consistency of flowers or animals or something, but it tends to go a little bit different than I imagined. But no surprise there. So we just kind of rough this up a little bit. Let's see where we go. Add a little more. And most likely will be covered. That's weird. I heard a noise, a bulb or something there's no lights on, so it's got to be some other noise. There's always noises, you know, in old houses. They tend to creak. So I jump a lot, I think. So we're there, and we're at 2 brushes. Shall we do the brush count? I think it's only going to be 3. We might surprise us. We meaning me, and we might change our mind, but we'll see. But this is what I've been doing is I make these paint, I call them paint blobs. This is a ring, and I have magnets and different things, but I eventually will kind of spread this out as to make the I make it thinner, and then it takes a couple of days and it dries, and then we go from there. But that that will make the paint blobs. Now see, I'm trying to decide if I want to act like this is grass, which I think is what we're at, and then just add some flowers. This is, I say, half of it will probably end up being covered. Since I don't always have my thoughts in mind as to what I'm going to do, I end up with other, you know, colors or thoughts or stuff in different places. And so it doesn't really technically, you know, matter where stuff ends up, because we just move it around. And my mom has the real green thumb. She can paint or grow her garden. I'll get it out. And she can make miracles happen in her garden. Me, on the other hand, not so much. But I love to paint flowers, but they're not like realistic, but they're close enough. And that's the thing, is like, you know, when I first started painting, I kept saying I can't paint because I shake a little bit. It's hard to see on there, but I shake a tiny bit. And so I can't ever draw a straight line. I don't know how to paint. I don't have any painting, training of any kind. And so my friend kept encouraging me just to paint with Owen to work on his fine motor skills. And so that's what I did. I said, okay, I'll do it. And I can tell you that painting has changed my life. It gives me such a wonderful feeling to be able to paint with Owen, to share our story, to just know that he's in every one of these paintings. You know, he's the foundation of why. And, you know, painting is kind of one of those things that it should be about your heart. It should be about your emotions, or the feeling that you get from painting, or what you want to portray. It doesn't have to be perfect, because life imperfect. And don't get me wrong, the artists that are out there that are creating these amazing detailed things, maybe one day I can say, that's me, that, I did something like that. But until then, or if it never happens, I am so overjoyed with what I do, because this is with Owen. This is part of our story. This is part of our journey. And it gives me that 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour to just sit and reflect and think on our day. So I highly encourage you to paint. If you like to paint, if you want to learn how to paint, it's amazing. It's a great outlet. And it's helping Owen. He doesn't paint every day with me. He paints every few days. But it's helping him. It's exposing him to new crafts, new ideas, new things. And, just when he wants to make his own paintings, that just makes me happy. He doesn't do it often, but he tells me he wants to paint this or he wants to paint that. And that's so... And he's got such an incredible, vivid imagination. It blows my mind how much he comprehends, how much he knows, how much he really understands, all of that. And so it's exciting to me to watch him kind of flourish in all of the activities he's doing and all of the things he's starting to be a part of. And it makes me happy. Makes me very, very happy. Now, if you've watched me before, you know that half of this stuff always ends up kind of like covered up. But that's where we're at. So, in some ways, that's like life, we just keep going and keep going and keep going. So, it'll all work out in the wash, is what I say. Say. I'm not quite sure how many more flowers I'm going to do. I can't seem to get the even spread of the pinky red ones and the orangey ones. I haven't decided yet. It doesn't truly matter because, when you're out in the garden, all the flowers are there. So no matter which ones I'm really like highlighting, it's fine. And I've been tending to do this kind of, I don't even know what the right flower is. Maybe like a carnation kind of style, I suppose. I've been stuck on that lately. And trying to kind of do a little other stuff as well. But, and you can see, I can't think tonight, because of the way I tend to use the one brush, a lot of the orangey pinks and stuff are showing up in the leaves, which is okay. Leaves, I always have to say that word like 10 times. I don't know why that fascinates me so, but I love that word. It's silly. I might just kind of, I don't know, I had like a random flower down here, maybe. I'm either going to like this and be glad I did it or wish that I had not. That's the way it goes. So Owen had a randomly great, chaotic, calm, anxious day. I don't know how many other words. I was trying to think what the right words are. My brain is tired. He did good though. He did good. We're in a new kind of territory here. We have a new advisor that's helping us with emotions and activities and how we do stuff. And so she went with us today, and that helped us with so many different things. But it was different for him because it wasn't his expectation of what was going to happen. But it was still wonderful. It was really, really a great experience. And so we'll be doing more of those type of things. And it's, I always say that autism is as much about how I handle it as it is about Owen having it. And that's really the thing, is like, he looks to me to do different things for him, and how I handle situations and where he wants to go and what he wants to do. And a lot of times they're hard emotions for him to have to kind of work through and deal with. And so having somebody that can kind of look at the scenario and advise me to go through it a little bit differently, or look at it in a different light. That's just spending, a couple of days here and there already has truly helped me kind of feel in the moments and kind of see what's going on. I don't think I keep looking like I want to add another one. Maybe just another little one down here, like that it's kind of falling like out of the bunch or something. But today was a good day with that, for him, for me, for learning. And we struggled some yesterday, and so to have the advisors be able to kind of look at everything and talk to us and say, yep, we need to work on that with him, with me, with both of us, and go from there. It was very uplifting. So I like this because it's like kind of different up here for everything, and it makes me happy to see Owen so in this one. So when I signed these, I was trying to decide if I wanted to put it over there or over here, but I like how that one's kind of reflecting all on its own. I can't talk. So I always put O for Owen, and then L and B. And he's the foundation of why we do this, why, I've painted for years with him now. And so that's why I put the O first and then the LB. As I was sitting here looking at this, I decided, see, this is what happens. This is what happens, people. If you've watched before, this is what happens. I get in my mind that I just need another added something. Oh, that's kind of oh boy. See, that had a little, oh, and I had something on my brush. This had like a little bobble or bubble or something in it. I don't know what happened, but that caused a little bit of a ripple effect here. And now I want not quite as much green, but I did all that because, see, this is why I have to stop when I say I'm going to stop, and I don't. But now she's stopping. But I'm happy for our day and happy for the moments that took place. And now you can see this is the baubles, the paint blobs. This is what happens. And take this, and this all dries, and then will get used in the paint blobs. But that's what happens. So then I'll thin it out a little bit more, and there it goes. So, all right. Well, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and subscribe and come join us again on our autism journey. So, toodles!